and good morning. A beautiful new week is here, and to make you or help you take it on, we have a beautiful new edition of Wake Up Nigeria here for you. We're back, refreshed, energized from the weekend, and hopefully yours was fantastic. Well, it's actually a good question. You should really ask yourself, what did you get up to in your weekend? Did you make the most of it? Did you go out? Did you have fun? Did you spend time with family? Did you pray? Did you not? We should be asking ourselves these questions so that we can make the most of our weekends and, of course, our week. But not to worry, we have 3 hours to spend with us, and hopefully it's going to be exciting. My name is Titilayo Oyinson, and we're streaming live at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook Live at TVC Connect. Please send in those comments. We appreciate them with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. Of course, our mobile app is on fire right now. You should download it for all your mobile devices from anywhere in the world. You'll be able to watch us live. Just look for the TVC Entertainment app. It's right there on the Android store, that's the Google Play Store, and of course the Apple iStore. Now, when it comes to music, it's a really huge part of what we do on Wake Up Nigeria. And our first act for this week will be coming from singer-rapper T.I.A. Then right after that, we have another musical performance, this time from Tsukkomi Oladipo, aka Sunky Snoop. For motivation, we have an old friend back with us. His name is Stephen Omodribe. Now, he's going to be talking to us about changing faulty programs. And you know, some people have their lives programmed a certain way, and they just don't know that they need to make some changes. Now, how well do you know your car? We have Yomi Bosude of Autocentric coming into the building. Now, he's going to be on our auto segment talking about understanding all the warning signs that your car may be giving you. And for SME, organic hair care brand founder Yejide Erogbogbo. Oh, wait, Erogbogbo. Yes, I got it. Now, she is going to be here, and she is the CEO of Arras Bella Organics. Can't wait to talk to her about her journey. Now, what a tongue twister for a Monday morning.
Can you see that sponge?
Yeah.
Who would have thought you could use that as a base for photographs?
So when it comes to being interested in packaging your brand and all that, some people try so many different ways. Sponge used to mean pain for me.
Pain.
Because yes, my mom would scrub me down with that. Well, when I was a child, and I always used to think about, goodness me, bath time again, you know, especially whenever they brought some black soap, you know, the African black soap. I just used to think of coin. I was like, come on. No, not again.
You don't use it anymore.
No, I don't.
And it could be because you don't want to experience that anymore.
Oh, but there's this, there's the more modern one now. It's still part of the raffia sponge, but I just use it for my face because I feel a lot cleaner when especially with all the makeup we do every morning. Mary Daly.
How you doing?
How's your weekend?
Crazy.
As always.
Yeah, but it was all right.
But speaking of things that are crazy, there's some really crazy news that's been making the rounds since Friday. And, you know, it would kind of be insensitive of us to not even talk about it, or at least touch on it in, you know, a little way. Of course, when stories come out, you know, everybody has an opinion or two.
True.
But, you know, it's a big issue, Mary, this issue of sexual abuse. It's not something that can be swept under the carpet anymore, in my opinion. We both have daughters, but what's your take on this?
It's a very complicated one for me. So, first of all, I would state that I've seen so many people say different things about in quotes, the expression of the lady in question. And I particularly want to touch on something. You know, this shock thing is a very powerful thing. When you're shocked, the way you react is into the way people expect you to react. So for those saying, oh, she was probably more like participating willingly. I think there are certain things you need to just, you know, get conversant with, talk to people who have been through this, people who have experienced this, and you'll be surprised at what they tell you. But for me, rape is a very sensitive thing for me. And, you know, when we talk about molestation, it happens everywhere. It's quite sad that oftentimes people in positions of authority are the ones who actually carry out this abuse the most. It's very sad.
So we having being mothers now, there are also, you know, a lot of people talking about the fact that if the children were better aware or informed about their bodies, about given better sex education, there are probably some cases that wouldn't have happened.
What kind of sex education would you give a 6-month-old baby? Well, what kind of sex education would you give a 3 or 5-year-old?
So you know, the crazy thing is, if it had been a cycle of education from the parents of those same 6-month-olds, 5-year-olds you're talking about, maybe they would have been able to better protect their children. So I think it's still a cycle of ignorance that is just catching up with parents and children and parents and children. It just keeps going. So for instance, there are some social groups now online that are talking about better equipping children with knowledge, better equipping parents with knowledge. And there are even some cases where you hear stories of parents actually being the reasons why children are put into those situations in the first place. The children are being sent to the church for whatever reason, whether for deliverance or spiritual guidance, but not getting the guidance the parents think that they're supposed to be getting. You know, so there's just so many underlying issues.
If you send your children to, you know, the places of worship for spiritual guidance, out of like 20 children, about 6 of them do get out of it unscathed.
Of course.
14 might be affected either by the, in quote, spiritual leader or by their
some other
friends,
peer,
or it could be by anybody. Titi, there are cases in which just one slip, because we are humans. Yes, we call ourselves parents and everything, but we are not perfect. Just one slip and the child is molested, the child is scarred forever. It is a very painful thing. And I just want to quickly say this, for those who are going through the pain, the trauma of this, you should try your best to seek help. It goes a very long way. You'll be shocked. Just talking about it sometimes helps. Talk about it to someone you can trust or to a counselor.
Now, this is a topic that cannot be you know, finished now. It's something that's going to be ongoing, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you some information on what you can do if, for instance, you're looking for help or you need someone to talk to.
Talking about information, Ibrahim is here.
Oh, wow. Okay, fantastic.
Hi, Ibrahim.
And it now depends on the kind of information you're talking about. Maybe the one you're talking about that people are seeking and that of the news. All right, let's head straight to the news. A boat with 21 people on board capsized on Lagos waters on Sunday, and so far 4 corpses have been brought out. 3 people have been rescued, but 14 are still missing. TVC News' Mian Akiri has the story.
The last 24 hours can be described as sorrowful to people living in Egbe area of Ikorodu in Lagos State. A boat mishap involving 21 passengers on board has brought so much tears and agony to the community. TVC News met with one of the 3 survivors of the boat's mishap. He shares his experience.
When we were coming, suddenly the engine stopped and the boat capsized. I had to swim for almost 3 hours before a fisherman rescued me when I was shouting for help, and he brought me to Ijede.
Search and rescue and recovery operation is still ongoing. We have alerted the communities that are in this environment to remain calm and so be vigilant. Whenever they notice anybody, they should quickly inform us.
We were able to get this information from one of the passengers that escaped from that boat. So, and he told us exactly what happened. That about 20 people boarded the boat and suddenly the engine of the boat just off when they were at the middle of the lagoon. So in an attempt even to do one or two things, so the water started coming in.
Some residents who spoke to TVC News say they are not happy with what the rescue operators have done so far.
Lasema are here, they are not here in the morning. They are here around 2, 3. So those one on the IC, they've left since 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and people are still there. They are there, they want to rescue some people there. And Lagos State, Lasema, or what they call them, they've left. Even their boss, everybody have left here now. They say they are going. And people are still there. This is concerning life and death.
Operation closed at about 6 p.m. on Sunday, and the residents took it upon themselves to recover more bodies, and their efforts paid off. With rescue operation ongoing in the last 24 hours, it is expected that more bodies will be recovered in the days ahead. Mian Akiri, TVC News, Lagos.
And away from that, protests took place across worship centers of the Commonwealth of Zion Assembly in most parts of the country. A protest took place in Abuja over the accusation that the church's senior pastor raped photographer Biola Dakolo when she was a teenager 19 years ago. And here in Lagos, protesters also gathered at the branch of the church. Senior correspondent Ivy Kano has the story.
With the hashtag Name and Shame movement, the protesters arrived at the Commonwealth of Zion Assembly before 8 in the morning, carrying placards with different inscriptions. The way to the church premises is well guarded by the church's security personnel, with assistance by police officers. Traffic is slow as motorists either slow down to take pictures or record a video. Chanting different slogans, the protesters do not spare members arriving for church service as they threw tantrums at them. Some of the protesters spoke on the content of their petition.
I will say step down. When you step down, don't cover yourself under the church. COSA is an enabler for rapists.
Those allegations are grievous enough for everybody concerned to take things seriously. It can no longer be business as usual.
He should stop using the church as immunity. He should subject himself. He should be investigated. And if he's found guilty, justice should prevail. There are too many busolas out there, and we cannot afford to keep quiet anymore. We are mothers. We have children. Knowing fully well that when CAC registered any charity, there's a constitution. And that constitution also addresses some disciplinary measures that need to be taken. He can't be the same person also signing the press release to the public.
I am concerned because I am afraid. I'm a father of 2 daughters. I have 2 beautiful children, 2 beautiful daughters. So I'm scared. So I stand for Save the Girl Child.
The church service has officially ended. What we'll do is we'll try and get the reaction of some of the members that attended today's service. Their refusal to speak is understandable, but we don't give up, and it eventually pays off.
This is an allegation. An allegation are not facts. And for allegation to be effective, not to punish somebody for an offense, you have to prove that beyond every reasonable doubt. And that cannot be done through protest.
Judiciary should be brought into this and let civil action be taken against the alleged man, that is the pastor.
You guys are standing here shouting with one person that come up with one thing one morning, wake up one morning and come outside and say somebody raped her for like how many years ago, and she's telling you, and you now carry billboard and everything and coming here and be shouting no to rape.
The next place to watch might be the law courts if either Pastor Biodun Fatoyibo or his accuser decides to sue. In a statement released by the church, the pastor said he had never raped anyone. Pastor Fatoyibo has deactivated his profile on different social media platforms, and the church has suspended its annual 7 Days of Glory program, which would have taken place from the 1st of July to the 7th. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos.
Well, that's it on the news update for now. For this hour, Weather update is next.
All right, welcome back. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. Now, when it comes to traffic, there are different types of traffic. There's human traffic, there's vehicular traffic, there's air traffic. The one we're talking about today is the traffic that we find on the streets of Lagos every day. It's not almost every day these days, it's every day. And we're doing our best to give you a little insight into what to expect on the roads as at this morning. I know that Mike and Mary are in the kitchen right now, and they're also ready to give us a few little insights as to what is being said on social media. Meanwhile, you know, there's always something you could do to contribute to this segment. All you have to do is send a message to us online. Make sure you tell us what exactly is happening on the road in your neighborhood. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria and possibly take a traffic selfie and send it in as well. So I'm actually trying to find the best route for you if you're coming from Lasu area of Lagos. So as many people know, the route between Lasu and Orile or Apapa is one that a lot of people plow, but it can be quite tense at this time of the morning. If, for instance, you're coming from Lasu, you should expect about 10 minutes of traffic heading towards Okokomaiko. If you keep going down the expressway, you'll definitely keep getting little bits of traffic, pockets of traffic at every major junction. I'm talking about Alakija Junction, and then, of course, the Festac Third Gate. And then you will look forward to another little pocket of traffic around the Festac First Gate itself. But all in all, the journey should take you about an hour, 20 minutes if you're heading from Lasu to Orile. Just make sure you take your time, go slow a little, you know, just prepare your mind for about an hour, 20 minutes on that journey, and you'll be getting to your destination soon. I'm wondering what the team have from social media. Do we have any updates?
Okay, there's something here from at NG Car Parts, and this just came in just about a minute ago. High influx currently from Alfred Rwane in what I can't see this very well, but yeah, from Alfred Rwane Road, and then Yanoba on route Egbeda, currently good to go, but slight traffic at major bus stop. I don't know which bus stop. Then there's a fallen down container opposite LG, close to Victory Church, inward Waterside. Dancer Teddy. Where is this? Where is this? Okay, but yeah, this is at NG Car Parts. Just about 5 minutes ago, and then Sheraton on route Salvation, Okpebi Link Bridge, currently good to go. I know that place can be quite a gridlock early in the morning, especially when it's a Monday morning, but then it's currently good to go according to this handle at this point in time at Road Pal NG. And then Wando inward Cathedral, currently high influx. That's about 12 minutes ago. And then at Jar Park, inward UBA roundabout, Owando, currently steady movement. Then that's Ajah area. And there's a fallen container at Abule Oshun, Inward Victory Church. That's around Okota, yeah. So that's a continuation of that former tweet, which wasn't completed. So this is around Okota area.
Okay,
Yeah,
Titi, I suppose you want to give us more updates.
Yes.
I'll give you my tweet right after.
Okay. All right. So I have the route from Bega bus stop all the way. I'm calling it Bega. I felt like saying Berger. Berger is actually the Berger bus stop all the way to the island. I'm talking about Victoria Island now, not Lagos Island, but it is kind of the same route. But from what we can see, people are being advised to take the Ikorodu Road, Eco Bridge route as opposed to the Third Mainland route if they want to shave about 6 or 7 minutes off their journey. Now, 6 or 7 minutes doesn't really mean that much to many people in Lagos, but you never know how much you might be saving if you get 6 or 7 minutes shaved off your traffic time. Major trouble spots include the over area of the expressway that you reach before you get to Third Mainland Bridge. The whole of Third Mainland has very slow moving traffic right now. So everywhere, all the way across towards the Ebute Meta axis and then all the way through Third Mainland until you get to Ring Road, everything is jammed and it just, cools down a little bit once you get onto the island. But if you decide to take the Eco Bridge route, you'll have it free as long as you stay on Ikorodu Road. But up till Shomolu area, Obanikoro, Shomolu, Igbobi, Jibowu, all those areas are tight. But then as long as you keep on that route, you'll have a journey that'll total you about 1 hour 45 minutes. So in 1 hour 45 minutes, if you're leaving Bega bus stop, you should be in Victoria Island at Bonny Camp around that time. So hopefully we've been able to give someone some insight on what's happening on the roads. There's always loads to talk about in the kitchen. Mike and Mary, I'll be meeting you soon.
So, Mike, yesterday's match.
Yeah, I think that's
yesterday's match.
I think that's a major talking point. And so I'll personally say I didn't expect us to win.
I did not, because Madagascar have actually been doing well so far.
No, it's not about, you see, this is their first time in the tournament. They are debutants. And there's a lot at stake here, right? I know, and people say there are no minnows in football, and to an extent I agree. But, like it or not, there's a reason why there's a classification, there's a reason why there's a ranking.
Yes,
that means that there's a team that's at number 1 and there's a team that's at number 200.
Expected to act like a number 1 team,
exactly.
That is.
Now, there's something you said, expected to. Now, if you say there are no minnows, when you go up against the team and then they all defend, and then you are the one doing the attacking, and then they all sit back, they are playing like minnows.
Yeah.
And then when they have the chance and then they go for a counter, my point is, look, whether you like it or not, there are still minnows in football. There's a way you tackle them. There are some coaches that know how to do it and all that. But my point was that I don't know whether it's Raw or the players. I'll put the blame mostly on the players. But it looked very bad for us that a group that people you were not even expecting to qualify, they topped the group. And
my gosh.
I love the underdog in the story, which is basically, it's still Madagascar.
Yeah.
The underdog is still Madagascar.
Sure.
They came and they surprised everyone. And it just goes to show that people need to be prepared. You need to prepare for anything. So I feel like we were a little nonchalant until that first goal hit everyone by, like, what just happened. I was actually there when that first goal entered and everybody was just stunned. Like, we don't understand what just happened.
I wasn't stunned.
It was like, it wasn't even strategic.
It
wasn't like they planned it. It just happened.
I wasn't stunned, but I was not happy about it.
You're right.
I wasn't stunned, but I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, of course.
When it happened, it wasn't so surprising, but I just wasn't happy. I was like, come on. And then when the second one came, I was like,
really?
I
was in a state of really throughout.
You know, when I told people about Mikel, I said, look, he has served us very well to the best of his ability. But there are times when there needs to be a change of baton. It's not because of you've not done well. You are doing well. But hey, we cannot call Kano Wanko or Okocha to come and play now. There's a time when you need to change the baton. And then I remember when he was being subbed off as a captain. You understand? What you need most there is to motivate, to push the people, to get them to do better.
Yes.
He was downcast. Like,
wow.
I was like, is this our captain?
Wow.
The way he went off, he didn't even it was going on for Wobi.
People, yeah.
Like, you know, normally at that point, you get those on the field, you get them pumped up, you get the person coming in pumped up. From the touch lines, you are the second coach, you are the coach on the pitch.
Yeah.
You understand? You get them pumped up and all of that. I didn't see any of that. And that was what we're lacking. That and, of course, a lot of other things. We've only, so, you know, we are going to probably meet either Cameroon or Ghana. That would be, you understand?
Those are two very strong teams.
Yeah.
Very strong teams.
So, we really have our work cut out for us. That's what happens. We have our work. I feel we'll rise up to the occasion, but we really do have our work cut out for us.
So today is second half of the year day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah, it's
a reminder
actually true.
that
Happy New Month.
we have begun the second half of the year, literally. So 6 months have gone.
6 months, not only have 6 months gone, so this is the month where Wake Up Nigeria started 2 years ago.
So we're about celebrating our second year anniversary.
That's something we're able to look forward to. Yes, because we're going to be doing some great things on our second anniversary.
Look out for that one.
I think a lot has happened in 2 years. A lot has changed, improved in many different ways, you know, all over the world, but especially in Nigeria. You know, there's a lot that's happened on social media. A lot of different causes have come and gone. But there's just something.
Nigeria is the thing that is doing people now.
Good?
Like,
yeah. So I was going to mention that.
70% of the trends, you know.
But the thing is, the way things change when it comes to trends on social media is actually alarming, because 100% of the tweets and trends on Friday was about
Friday, Saturday, even into early hours of Sunday, it was about
that BB Niger trending is also paid. It's paid for.
Not all of it. Not all of it.
It's mostly, in fact, I dare say it's all paid for, because if you're on BB Niger and I'm supporting you, I'll definitely rally people to make sure you trend. That's the way it works.
So not that the company is paying for the tweets. You're saying people
want their person, so to speak, to win.
You see,
so there'll be a lot of
trying
to push
so
that.
if it was one trend, there are times when you see a trend, I don't see the number of tweets under it.
Yeah.
Those are the trends that you
that
probably would suspect
that
are promoted. You don't see any number of tweets on it. But then in this particular case, you see like 17 out of 20, and then you see the number of tweets. You go in. It's easy to, as a tech person, to check and know when you go in. And it's that. So I came in around this morning, and that is the craze. That is what is happening. It's a pointer. People want to relax. You know,
I want to point back to that audition. Who remembers that audition?
Yeah, that audition.
The one that people were climbing walls. So I was not looking at those housemates in the house,
trying to figure out.
And like, so these people climb wall. How did these ones enter? Is it this one with Fonet that dragged people's shirts to enter gates? How?
We had to be. There's someone from Manchester. There's someone like two from the UK, and they have all the.
How did they get inside?
They have all the in and all of that.
How? Those people,
you are looking at me.
I'm looking because
I wasn't on the panel.
saw that crowd. That crowd was a ghetto crowd. And then I have to also note that a lot of them were from the southeast. I'm going to say it because I was expecting a lot more from the north, a lot more from, southwest.
At the end of the day, we are all Nigerians.
Yeah.
However,
you know what I'm talking about.
Apart from that, I just hope that with the advent of BB Niger, people don't forget that there are other salient things to look out for.
Of course.
Everywhere I went to yesterday, the craze was on BB Niger. I'm very sorry about this, but I've never watched it. I've only watched it through Twitter.
Why are you sorry?
Because people
there are a lot of people.
If you're in entertainment, you're expected to keep abreast of all of these things.
That's actually the reason why.
So I keep abreast of it via Twitter. Try to find out what's happening. The truth is, you guys
just stand up. Stand up.
You just took the words out of my mouth.
But I'm thinking, like, if we got two of you, Mary and Titi, into the house, like, how do you be? Into BB Niger house.
You know the interesting
thing? Into Big Brother house.
The interesting thing is, it's a social experiment that has become it has become a money-making. It's like a golden goose. So when you think about it, it's actually okay. Let me stand up. It actually feels like if you don't take advantage of it, you're the one that's really just fooling yourself.
But it's actually been discontinued in some countries,
many countries,
especially surprisingly the US.
But the money being made,
but there's a lot of money in it.
It's just.
Was it the US, not the UK?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And the contestants from last year are still trending these days. So, hey, what can we say?
If you had the opportunity, would you go?
Okay, so I'll gist you about my audition some years ago.
If I had the opportunity,
but we have to take a break. No
I don't
time for me
think
to tell you about how I fumbled on my own audition.
I'm sure they will go, both of them. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
We'll go after Mike has though. We'll see you soon.
Okay, I hope you were able to catch up something you like there. And for those of you who are voyeurs and you love traveling is quite expensive, you know. I would also love to travel the world. I mean, that is. But then, hey, come on, let's take a look at tech updates this morning. Now, for those of you, you know the craze about hybrid cars and electric cars. Now, this one might interest you. Chinese automotive startup NIO is recalling nearly 5,000 of its ES8 high-performance electric SUVs after a series of battery fires in China, and a subsequent investigation revealed a vulnerability that created a safety risk. Now, that's a very beautiful car, I must say. Now, the recall affects a quarter of the ES8 vehicles it has sold since they went on sale in June 2018. A NIO-led team of experts that included the supplier of the battery pack module investigated a reported fire involving an ES8 in Shanghai. The team concluded there was a vulnerability in the design of the battery pack that could cause a short circuit. So, hey, come on, I've not seen so many NIOs around, or any NIO around in this region, but if you do have that car anywhere around the world, you might want to check in with your manufacturer if it does have a manufacturing defect. And the recall, I don't know the plan they have for the recall, if you're going to reissue new or updated models, but then there is an issue with that car, and some have been reported to burst into flames or the battery to pack up. All right, and then moving on from that, to celebrate International Small Business Day, Google last week launched a new website that will suggest its products that seem like the best fit for a specific business. Now, the Google for Small Business portal was announced at the Grow with Google Learning Center in New York City, where the company offers a variety of workshops and classes. Now, during the break in the event, Kim Spalding, Google's Global Product Director for Small Business Ads, spoke to TechCrunch, saying that the website gives everyone a place to start with Google products. After all, she said, small business owners struggle with time and particularly don't have time to become experts on digital marketing. Okay, that's quite a very good one. They're always pushing the bar and breaking the trends, as it were. So for small businesses, that's something that Google has put together for you. And then moving on to this one, quite interesting. It's all about recalls these days. In an interview with French news site Numerama, Apple head honcho Eddie Q revealed that the number of Apple Music subscribers has now climbed to 60 million. The company seems to give updates every time it surpasses another additional 10 million subscribers. We last heard that they had crossed the 50 million mark back in April. Now, the company's music service is well past the halfway market in its mission to surpass Spotify, which currently has 100 million subscribers. Okay, do you think that that's possible? Can Apple Music surpass Spotify? 100 million, 60 million. I mean, it was April, May, June, July. Just in less than 3 months, 2 months, I must say, they got 10 million. So at this rate, if they grow at this rate, they will definitely surpass Spotify sometime around November before the end of the year. That's it on tech this morning. Now, we have a performance in the house, our first performance for this Monday morning. It's always good to kick off your Monday with a performance, right? Okay, so let's get this up. And I know that Mary, of course, is on standby. She's going to tell us who we have with the performer, or who we have with her.
Thank you very much, Mike. Okay, so the performer this morning right now is Tia. And I wonder what he has for us. What are you giving to us this morning?
I'll be doing one of my songs in my EP.
Okay.
Named Oluwa.
Oluwa.
Yeah.
You wrote the song yourself?
Yes.
You wrote it yourself?
Definitely.
Okay, so this is like a live performance of Oluwa.
Of the song, yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to let you do your performance right now, okay?
All right.
All right, then.
Okay.
fall like to chop your love. I fall like to do something. And I fall like to go back to school, make I complete the things we abandoned, yeah. I fall like to feed mama. And I fall like to give papa, oh, oh. My conditions scatter everything, no. Oluwadamilo, mama, Jackie Suku. Oluwadamilo, mama, Jackie Shinobu. Oluwadamilo, mama, Jackie Shubo. Oluwadamilo, mama, Jackie Shinobu. Yeah, yeah, yo. Oh, show yeah, yo. Yeah, yeah, yo, papa. Oh, show yeah, yo. Yeah, yeah, yo. Oh, show yeah, yo. Ola, no, yeah, me, papa. Oh, show yeah, yo. Check what's to my mic on me, don't know. How is my age up? Please, my shoes in it the road. Cause ain't stopping till I'm sitting on the jaw. Hey, it's Campbell o'clock, and it's gonna take non-stop. My people said they wanna see me, yo. Make them no worry, they go see me soon for TV, yo. Boy, Campbell, devil. Trying to come up with that, we go shut down town. Me, I go make a more. Nothing go shake down, yeah. Nothing go shake down, but she no say. Oluwadamilo, mama, Jackie Suku. Oluwadamilo, mama, Jackie Shino. Oluwadamilo, mama, Jackie Shubo. Oluwadamilo, mama, Jackie Shino. Yeah, yeah, yo. Oh, sure, yeah, yo. Yeah, yeah, yo, papa. Oh, sure, yeah, yo. Yeah, yeah, yo. Oh, sure, yeah, yo. Ola, yeah, me, papa. Yeah, yeah. Baba, send down your blessings. Send men to bless me. Make a done person where they bless other person. Flex and investing. That's so interesting. That'll be interesting.
It's the second hour of the show, yes, and let's just say that from today, Monday to Friday, you have something to look forward to every morning.
As soon as you get out of bed, all you need to do is just get your TV remote, put it on TVC, and everything you need you can look forward to, because we'll bring it to you.
Now, for this morning, we are the Monday Blues Chasers. There's nobody wearing blue. Okay, no.
I'm wearing blue.
No, but this is not.
I'm wearing blue. This is navy blue.
Yeah, navy blue. So this is. I'm even wearing blue also. So.
Yeah. What was the point of that blue conversation now?
Because we're blue chasers, so we shouldn't be wearing blue.
Wow.
So we're wearing something like red.
Yeah.
Okay, but then I am Mike Mesikeno.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Please remember we're live streaming. tvcontinental.tv is the website, then Facebook Live at TVC Connect. Please send in those comments. We love going through them. We actually take a lot of time to scroll. We'll be scrolling. Please use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria.
You know, that's something that we're getting back our social media segments quite very soon. We'll kick it off with our second year anniversary celebration. So social media will be a very, very big part of the show. Now, of course, you know, we have an app, and that app is available for download, but the Android and iOS stores now. The app allows you to check us out from anywhere in the world, wherever you have internet connection.
You always add that part.
Yeah, it's very necessary. So some would just so there are
if you have data.
Yeah, there are some kind of apps and some kind of things that you can access even without internet. You know.
True.
But for this one, you definitely
need
internet connection.
But we have quite a lot of things coming up. First of all,
and of course, we bring you a musical performance from Afro fusion artist Tsukkomi Snoop.
Stephen Omojuigbe is gonna be back now. He's a certified life and relationship coach, and he'll be talking to us about getting rid of faulty programs in our lives. Now that's for Monday Motivation this morning.
Program free change.
And then Yomi Bosude will be helping us with some ways to understand the instruments in our cars and their warning signs. That's quite one that you should watch out for.
Yeah, I've always been fascinated by those signs. And now we also have SME this morning. Our SME guest for today is the CEO of Arras Bella Organics, Yejide Erogbobo. And now when it comes to, I keep getting that pronunciation a little mixed up, but I'll clear it up with her later. Bella Organics, a manufacturer of natural and organic hair and skincare products, is gonna be here in the studio to talk to us a little bit more. Yes, so.
Okay, so guys, today is International Reggae Day.
Reggae?
Do you like reggae
There's like
music?
so many days now, you can't even keep up. Reggae Day.
Arumba style.
Really?
Reggae was a very big part of a lot of us growing up, me especially. But I know I'd mentioned some other time that it's not as mainstream as it used to be. You know, but one thing with reggae and rap and all of that is reggae is deep music, conscious music as it were. So they always tend, a reggae artist is always planning, or his aim is to pass a message, some sort of panacea, or to cure societal ills via his music or her music.
You know, it's funny
Most
how
of the times.
reggae music, especially when you listen to it, there's a way it just makes you vibe and feel really good with yourself.
That is very true, because I realized that my kids had never really listened to reggae music ever. And there was a TV commercial that just happened to have a reggae theme. And I just saw them dancing, and I'm like, wow, I've not introduced them to reggae. They don't know what reggae music is. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I want to go and download some reggae and start playing for them so that they could understand, how groovy it can actually be. And, music has always been like a mode of expression for people. There's some people that hear some types of music and it changes their whole mood. And it can still work today. So that might be something to remedy someone's mood out there. Maybe you're just going to go and play them some reggae music because it's World Reggae Day.
About
today.
mood.
Yeah.
So there's something about music, good music especially. And I believe that's probably why I really love being on radio. So coming to work this morning, the station was on 102.3, of course. And next thing, I just started hearing my favorite songs literally playing back to back.
Okay.
You know how when people call in or send you messages like, you're playing my favorite songs, thank you so much.
That was how you felt.
I had that feeling. Now imagine someone like maybe 100 other people replicating that feeling. You've already started their week on a good note.
Mike, have you
It's
ever called
amazing,
Have you
the
ever
power
called a
of
radio
music.
station to request a song before? Have you ever done that?
Never.
Never?
Yeah, never.
For real?
Never done that. Because I don't know, as much as I have a playlist, right?
Okay.
So I could stand up and listen to a song 20 times back to back. And as much as radio is quite cool, radio is unpredictable. I mean, you could stop the song at any time, pick up another song, something could come in and all of that. So when it comes to me listening to music, I just get what I want to listen to, put it into a flash, a USB drive or something, and then plug it and then just chill. So you understand? So
But what about when you were younger?
So there's a particular station that plays classic rhythms, and that's what I would love to.
Okay.
Yeah, but normally I get my own playlist. Music also is very therapeutic. It's how do I put it now? It's a precursor for intelligence.
Wow.
So it opens up parts of your brains,
Yes.
or your kids' brains. So if you have kids, expose them to music.
This is so true because medically
Expose
it's
them
been
to
proven.
Welcome back.
Yep. Of course, we're going to take a look at events all special things that happened this week in history. And the first one happened exactly today, July 1st, 1905. Albert Einstein introduced his theory of special relativity. Now, in history theory, he determined that the laws of physics are the same for all non-accelerating observers, and he showed that the speed of light within a vacuum is the same no matter the speed at which an observer travels. Einstein explained that if you and some astronaut are moving in different spaceships and want to compare your observations, all that matters is how fast you and the astronaut are moving with respect to each other.
Yeah, so you know the formula, that popular formula that you see everywhere?
Which is E equals mc squared, shows that energy and mass are interchangeable, space and time are linked for objects.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so basically, Einstein, no, that is one very, very recognizable figure in...
formula.
No, I mean, I'm talking about Einstein now as a
himself,
person,
yeah.
you know, with the white hair. He has been said that he's the only human who has used up to 10% of his brain, of his brain capacity, of his cerebral capacity, and yeah, that's the mind. That's the mind. That's
it.
Yeah,
So
E
energy,
equals m squared shows that energy and mass are interchangeable.
Yeah, and space and time are linked for objects. So it's really interesting when you think about it. One person could actually identify the fact that kinetic energy with mass and speed of light squared could actually affect the way people have viewed physics from then on.
So, yeah.
In fact, they say that's like really the beginning.
Yeah, it is Albert Einstein, the man. Okay, so yeah, what do we have next?
All right, so July 3rd, 1928, once thought to be insane, John Logie Baird demonstrates the first color television transmission in London. Now, Baird used whatever items he could find to begin building a prototype for his mechanical television, including an old hat box, some bicycle lights, a pair of scissors, and darning needles. He had glue, sealing wax as well, and he's quoted to have said, "Television is to light what telephony is to sound," meaning it's instantaneous transmission of a picture. So the observer at the receiving end could see, to all intents and purposes, what a cinematograph view is happening at the other end. So they could see what the sender was sending, basically.
In the television, the color television, you can see us in color now.
Yeah.
How do we look in black and white? How do we look in black and white? How do we look?
Honestly.
Okay, so we had this TV set, you know, the one that you had a door. Did you ever have it?
I actually used to see it. I never had it.
So it still has a key at one side.
You lock it.
Yeah, you lock it, man. And then once you're done, you now had two antennas. And like, let's get this station well, let's get this station well. So, you know, it was just by the side. And then at times when they would lock it, and my father would drop the key. And then we now found a way to unlock it. When it was not around.
You learned how to pick the lock?
We found a way. So yours is like this and that.
Wow.
That is coming.
Wow.
Then when it comes, we now just touch the back to know if we put it on. Because of course it was
it'll be
tube.
warm.
Yes, it will be warm.
Oh,
and then
no.
White soup.
Oh, dear me.
Okay.
So that is
black and white. That's black and white. But Bird, of course, due to him now, you can now
see us
in colors. All right, and then moving on from that, today, 1991, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, directed by this guy, James Cameron. This guy. I have beef for him. Okay, of course, it starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, and Edward Furlong, premiered at Century City, California.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah, of course.
So, when it comes to movies, Terminator is
yes, especially action movies. Terminator was a landmark. It was at that point where, okay, an action, I know when you listen to Schwarzenegger's story about how he got into Hollywood, how he was told that somebody with a German accent or, cannot make it in Hollywood and all of that.
He was also told his name was too long.
It was too long,
They told him to cut his name in half, they told him to
Schwarzenegger.
change it, but he never did. He never
and then
did.
with that accent and all of that, I mean, come on, he went, conquered Hollywood, conquered politics.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, became a governor.
And then he was, what was that title he had? It wasn't
Mr. Universe.
Mr. Universe.
5 times.
Imagine.
5 times.
Just imagine.
5 times winner of Mr. Universe, back to back and all of that. And they told me he was too big to act, that he should, bring it down and all of that. But hey.
Today in history, or this week in history as well, was the day, was the week that the bite fight happened. You remember the bite fight? Where Tyson
and
bit off Evander Holyfield's ear.
Yeah, man.
Goodness me.
That was legendary. That was legendary. That was it was I don't say the beginning of the end of a legend. That was Mike Tyson. And that was the point where we all knew, like, oh God, no, this is it. You had to go down.
So apparently in the first 2 rounds, Holyfield had won, had won the first 2 rounds, and this guy was frustrated.
He was.
So apparently, according to him, Holyfield headbutted him, and it got him pissed off. So when he went to sit down in his corner and came back up, he didn't have his mouth guard in his mouth. The referee told him to go back and put it back in, and he did. So he went back, put the mouth guard back in, then came out to fight. And then when Holyfield was giving him some crazy, he spat it out.
Yeah,
and
then
bit his
took
ear.
off his ear.
He actually spat the ear in the ring.
On the floor, yeah.
That's
he did.
just crazy.
He did.
Goodness
He
me.
did. He did.
But those are some things from history. You should go check them out.
That happened this week. Okay, so we have a performance coming up, right?
Yes, we do.
Mary is about to tell us what we have. Hello, Mary.
Okay, so you guys almost turned me off my breakfast, but that's all right. Thanks, Mike and Titi. It's time for us to have our second performance for this morning, and this time is by Tsukkomi Oladipo. Now, he is currently one of the most relevant Afrofusion street hop artists in Lagos. Yes, one that Lagos has to boast of course, is known as Sonky Snoop. Snoop as in Snoop Dogg. Now, the artist comes from a long line of musicians in his family and prides himself on being an independent artist. So when we say independent, what do you mean by an independent artist? Is it not signed to a label?
Obviously, yes. I'm not signed to a label. I basically do the running around and all of the hustle by myself.
Is it by choice, or you're hoping to get signed at some point?
I mean, I'm hoping to get signed at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, but presently, I'm independent.
So it's all about the hustle.
Yes, all about the grind, all about the hustle.
Now, earlier I mentioned the fact that you're from a long line of musicians. I know your dad used to perform as a backup artist for Chief Ebenezer Obey.
Of course, you're right.
Does he still do that?
No, my dad is late now.
Oh, quite sad.
Yeah.
Okay, it used to be called
Efele.
Yes, that was his stage name back then. Fantastic. So you already had this music influence from your childhood?
Of course. I grew up listening to my dad, so I had the opportunity to play with him alongside, street music and, all the samba sound. Yeah, so I had the opportunity to play with my dad. So, yeah, I am spiritual.
Okay, so your dad as an influence, was it from your childhood you knew you were going to do music, or you probably got to university and you're like, oh, okay, I think I can do this like my dad?
I didn't even know I was going to start making music. I always see him play this music, and most of the time he forced me to come along with him and sing as a backup artist for him. But then I was playing football. I played football for a long time, and I didn't even know that I was going to make music until, I found
About 10
myself.
years ago, when you finally decided to take that plunge.
Exactly.
But professionally, you've been doing music for, I think, about 5 years now?
5 years, yes, 5 years, yes.
And I'm sure you've had performances, collaborations
Of course.
with
So,
major artists.
I have a sound with IOJ, big shout out to IOJ, sang your number. So I have another song with YC that's titled Real Face.
Okay.
And then one of the recent singles that I put out is with Maestro.
Fantastic. So what song are you performing for us this morning?
I'll be performing Shorare, because that's my present.
Shorare.
Yes.
That's Help Yourself.
Yes, Shorare means to help yourself.
Okay, take it away then.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Spiritual. Ain't nobody. Where they at? Artistic justice. Which is what? Suki Snoop. Right about now, with the artistic champion, original badness, sugar bar, and them I was like anytime it comes to murder. Boom, chaka chaka.
Real Face, Mitty Shan.
Turn up. Suki Snoop.
It's Monday morning, and one of our staples is Monday motivation. Now, the road to self-actualization is often fraught with trials and errors. But then, there is need to do away with strategies that do not work for you and get onto the ones that will work for you. Now, To help us this morning talk about how to do away with faulty programs is Stephen Omojuigbe, who is a certified life and relationship coach. It's great to have you, sir.
Nice to be here.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, this is something that I think everybody at almost every level, at almost every time, would need something like this. You know, they say when we keep doing the same things and expect different results, it's tantamount to madness as it is. But then, changing faulty programming and all of that. Let's. When do you need to know, when should you know that this is the time I need to change what I'm doing?
That's an absolutely very good question. Look at your results. Look at the realities and the outcomes you're experiencing. So you want a good marriage, but instead of having a good marriage, you have a terrible marriage.
Okay.
You want to be successful, instead of being successful, you're going from failure to failure. Once the results and the outcomes you're getting in your life do not match up with the desires you have, then there is something inside of you that is repelling those good desires that you have. Because the way life was designed is that the things you want you. And so as you move towards success consciously, success should be moving towards you. As you move towards having a great marriage consciously, you should be seeing that outcome and experience and reality in your life.
Okay.
But once you're moving towards something consciously, and it seems like there's a barrier, it seems like you're close to getting it, something goes wrong. It seems that the more you work hard, the poorer you become. Then there is a program that does not support your desires. That's when you know that you need to change your program. That's when you know that there is a problem with your program.
Okay, now, but I know that persistence is one of the, keys to success, as it were. And a number of people I've spoken to, and even people at different times, they tell you that they tell you that at times you should stick to something for a while.
Yes.
But then you said that the point where you feel like at this point my action is not, the results are not concomitant with the corresponding action that I'm putting. That's the point where you move. You need to change. How do you change? How do you do that change?
Okay,
that programming change.
Yeah, before we get into how do you change, first people need to understand that the mindset, your programs are causative. That your life is a printout of your subconscious and conscious behavior.
Okay.
And that your programs determine your perceptions, they determine your performance, and then, of course, perception and performance, those determine your outcomes. It is science. It is not even something, it's not just motivational something.
Mental programming,
It is a scientific thing.
Are we talking about mental programming?
Yes, mental programs, that the things the fundamental assumptions that you have about the world, about life, about marriage, about success, about money. Take, for example, if you were to believe that there is scarcity, that there's no money in Nigeria, like a lot of people say, what happens is that your brain, your mind is designed to help you have congruence. So the things you believe and the outcomes you have, your mind is there to make sure that those two things tally. And so once you believe that there's no money in Nigeria, there's scarcity, what your mind begins to do is that it shuts down your ability to see opportunities, because it wants to make sure that your reality is
okay, but what if fact or news, what if fact tells you that there's actually lower money in circulation?
Yes.
Let's say you receive news from business indicators or people that are involved in the economy, and they actually say that as it stands that there is actually less money or no money in circulation. Are you trying to say that there's a way that with your mind you should rule out the facts? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying you should rule out the facts. So let's say the economy outlook is bleak. So all the reports, all that you're getting from the news is that things are bad. But in that same bad economy, you also will hear, maybe not many, one or two people who break through, who get a breakthrough idea, who become millionaires in that bad economy. Now the question is, do you want to hold on to the empowering reality that in spite of the fact that there is a lull in the economy, one person is breaking through, or do you want to hold on to the fact that the economy is bleak? It depends on your focus. So even when you have facts staring you in the face, you can choose what you believe. You can choose to say that even though the economy is bleak, as long as there's one person in this economy who can have a breakthrough, why can it not be me?
Why can it not be me?
And then when you begin to
like
think like that, what happens is that your brain begins to scan the whole place. It begins to work overdrive to find you that one opportunity that can give you the reality you desire. So it's a question of what do you put your focus on. And so then let's come to, how do you change a faulty program if you have one? First, how are faulty programs built? Programs in our minds are built by three major ways. Number one is hypnosis when we're children. before the age of 7, everything that we experience is downloaded. We don't learn it consciously. You just stay in an environment where Igbo is spoken, and then you just learn it. You stay in an environment where failure is celebrated. You just begin to, so it's hypnotically, it just downloads into your mind. And then programs are also built by repetition. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you sing that song so many times until it gets stuck in your mind. You don't need to think about it anymore. It becomes automatic. And then programs are also built through significant emotional experiences. So a girl suffers rape, for example, and in that incident, in that situation, she begins to believe that all men are bad. So significant emotional experiences, things that we do repeatedly, and hypnosis. Those are the three ways programs are built. And those are also the 3 ways programs are changed. Okay.
So that means that should be okay. Oh, wonderful. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's also the 3 ways programs are changed. And hypnosis is when you're just about between that time when you fall into sleep and when you're still conscious. Your brain is operating at a frequency that's called theta. At that time, it's a very good time to put something in your ear.
So this is self-hypnosis?
Yes, self-hypnosis, yeah. This is a time to put something in your ear and download a new program like, I'm healthy, I'm prosperous, I'm finding opportunities, I am strong. At that time, your brain has the capacity, you have the capacity to bypass your conscious brain and put those things in your consciousness, right?
This is just before you sleep?
Just before you sleep, just before you sleep, or just after you're waking up, just before full consciousness comes into place. That's why the things you do first thing in the morning so matters in your life. Because at that time, your mind is in that place where anything you do at that time registers strongly. And this is science, all right?
It is.
And then another way you can, of course, change your program is to practice something repeatedly. These things work. You know, sometimes people hear, they just say, oh, it's just motivation. But it's not just motivation.
You're
it's
right.
Science.
Repetition is the law of deep and lasting impression.
Absolutely. All right. So once you find that your outcomes are not commensurate with the things you want, you have to come into a place where you become self-aware. And that's the critical thing when it comes to repetition. You can't just find some affirmations and just begin to say it. You have to come to a place where you say, what exactly is the faulty programs? And if you process your story, which is something I help people do as a life coach, you process your story, you can identify those faulty programs. And what you need to do is just find the very opposite of it and put it all around you. Hear it every time, see it every time until such a time where it sinks into your subconscious.
So when you're talking about the repetition now, are you talking about verbal repetitions or are you talking about actions?
Both of them. All of them, actually.
Okay.
You want to hear the new program. You want to hear it in tapes. You want to hear it in song. You want to hear it everywhere. You want to put it all around your house, on your fridge, on your mirror.
This is consciously affecting your environment in such a way that what it gives back to you, it's what you plan for it to give back to you.
Exactly. And once you're able to register that new program, it will take some time. And this is where your other question about persistence.
Yeah.
It does not mean that because, okay, you've listened to Stephen on the show today, so you put 1 or 2 things in your
tomorrow
and tomorrow you hammer. No, it doesn't work like that. Something that took 24 years, 25 years, you're 40 now, you're struggling, and you've been operating that program for 40 years. At least you want to give it 40 days for the new program to stick.
That is quite true. Even though I think that time is even still small, but you are right.
But at least you want to give it some time. Yeah, you want to give it some time.
Someone said that, you need about that 30, 40 days to kick in a new habit and all of that.
Exactly.
How about the third one? There's a third one you spoke
about. The third one is something you cannot control, which is a significant emotional experience.
Experience.
And some people call it a miracle, you know. So I'm talking with this girl one day, I'm coaching her, and she's telling me all about all the pain and all the struggle she's gotten. And I can't get through to her, there's no breakthrough. And then suddenly it occurs to me to give her back what she paid for the coaching. And in that moment she breaks down and she's crying, and we have a breakthrough. And I asked her, what happened to you? She said, this is the first time anybody will give me money for doing nothing. And
I wish we could continue, but I know we will continue. We have you over the whole month.
Yeah.
I am so interested in this. We'll kick off on this note. We have the third one. Before we go to our next topic, we'll round up with this one because we have to go now.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Stephen.
Thank you, Mike, for having me.
I'm looking forward to this whole month of you on the show. All right. Okay. So, yeah, that was it. I hope you've been able to learn how to change some sort of faulty programming that you might have had with the 3 ways that he just mentioned now. But we have a performance for you now. Hello, Mary.
Thank you very much, Mike. You know, it just occurred to me that our parents give us money for doing nothing, and such is life. Well, it's time for our third performance. Yes, it's a great way to start the month, after all. And this time, it's by Omobolaji Real One. Now, Real One is a singer, a rapper, known professionally simply as TIA. Now, the Lagos Islander is an associate of Davido Music Worldwide. He recently released his current single, Juicy, on which he featured Ada West. So music, fantastic stuff. Why music? Is it something you've been doing since like forever, or is something you started recently?
Yeah, it's something I started recently, you know, maybe 2 years.
2, 3 years ago.
Yeah. You know, I just feel it's something I can do, you know, listening to great people in the industry like David, Wizkid, and, you know, Burna Boy, and, you know.
So for like 2, 3 years now. Was it someone that took you to the studio one day, perhaps because every time you're around them, your vibe is just too awesome, or it's just something you said, okay, let me experiment?
It's something I say because I love music
right
from day one. I love music. I listen to music right from the days of Brandy, you know, when I was a kid.
Yeah, I know so many people that like Brandy. Anyway, I'm going to let you do your performance, all right? Take it away.
All right.
Yeah, don't know. T.I. on this one. Mad. When I double check, me I no forget that I came in nothing, so the cool I regret. Also with me hard, but I give it all my best. I remember back then when my card no they dispense. Now they wanna advise me, when I broke they price me. I'ma be so rude and I never talk politely. My attitude can be liking. Came back from being poor like a lightning. All the mob ties, all that, but I wish you more life. After everything they say, everybody did alright. But my brother see no go happen if you no grind, yeah.
So far, our morning has been a ball of fun. Hopefully yours has been too.
Now it doesn't matter. Now, as long as you're watching Wake Up Nigeria, we have the lineup to cheer you up and, of course, motivate you enough for this week's challenges. My name is Mike Mesikeno.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinso. Now, another way you could watch us is for you to stream live with us. That's on tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook Live at TVC Connect. Your comments are also very, very important to us. Please send them in with our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria.
You can also download our app on both Android and iOS stores. Now you can watch us anywhere in the world with internet connection using that app.
So, you know, when it comes to learning new things, we have quite a lot we do, especially on Mondays.
Yeah, we do. We don't know more people will be asking, oh, what's happening to the kitchen today? And some, our chef was on the way, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, don't worry, we'll resume normal duties tomorrow. Don't worry about, that. Yeah, it's just one of those days, right?
We can't be on point every day. But we have to go on to this, though, because when it comes to getting to know our cars better, we have an expert heading into the building soon.
Yeah, of course.
Yomi Bosude is going to be talking about understanding your car's instruments and the warning signs they give.
And then after that, we're going to some SME with the CEO and founder of Arras Bella Organics and Arras Bella's Wigs.
More business in Nigeria.
Rejuvenating night oil, African black soap. African black soap. Yeah, African. Wow. All these products then. Man.
But so you know what? It's interesting that people are really going into organic stuff and more local products. There was a time that everybody just wanted to buy the Revlon, L'Oreal, those big designer brand names.
People still do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
but
the thing is, more people are becoming aware of the need to package their products properly. Yes, if you go to the open market, you can get these things cheaper because of the price and all, you know. But are you assured of the content? Because sometimes when they are crudely made, you might not get it at such a good quality.
You're talking about the local stuff?
Yes.
There's one you're going to be very sure of. Now, Boniki.
No,
that's one.
That stop is a blessing.
Anything that you can solve.
So
if you want to wait, if you want to, those are the kind of products that if you want to, they call it Tony. I want to use the one you rub it once.
Your life will not remain the same
my friend,
again.
I and my friends used to have this joke that there's a difference between local products and foreign products. African products, if they don't hurt, we feel that they don't work.
Oh, if they
you
don't
understand?
sting.
So if they don't hurt, or if they don't sting,
or
we feel
give
they
that
don't work.
minty cold
Exactly.
feeling.
So it was just a cure all. So we had headaches, cough, back pain,
wait,
rheumatism.
you were using that balm for headaches.
Oh, Jesus.
Your head, you will see that what will happen if you take out the ache and bring your head back into normal. Now, that bow can cure anything.
Talking about joke, yeah? Today is International Joke Day.
Hey,
so
Mary,
Mike
what
has
is your
given a
day?
joke.
That's not a joke. Abonikinobi is not a joke.
But you were the one that said it's a joke.
Joke,
now.
go.
Is that not what you said?
No. That thing it was an elixir.
Okay.
Hope you didn't
came
consume it though.
What? If you wash out
So
everything.
there's so many ways they used to use it. They'll put it inside hot water. They'll mix it with your other body cream.
Titi.
They'll put it on you, then now put dusting powder on top of it. So that the thing will now...
The bone will reconnect and so.
It will reset.
People will do for anything.
You've not seen children that can fight.
It will reconnect.
But there was one I can still remember. I don't know if it still exists. This tube, Shelly tube. Do you remember Shelly?
Shelly.
I remember, maybe I'm too old. Shelly tube was like a lipstick tube with cream inside.
Yeah, I think, yes. Yes, I remember now. I remember.
God.
I remember.
You would see ghosts every morning. You're going to school in the morning, you will just see a ghost walk by. You do next thing, as you're trying to understand why this person is so white-faced, another ghost passes. Like, what is happening?
People used to use that stuff. Oh my God. Well, I don't think it's in the market anymore.
It's possible,
know.
But then because of so many more
crazy
products.
the types of products people come up with and have been using over the years, but thankfully it's more organic now.
And these people, they don't use the pain again as those older ones use the pain. So I don't know if they work like those older ones.
Personally, I've always believed that yes, there has to be a little of pain. It's working.
That's what Stevie spoke about. It's what's in that? Hypnosis. Hypnosis. So we have to
go through the process.
Self-hypnotize ourselves once again. And take out that programming. It doesn't have to hurt for it to work.
Yeah, don't know. T.I. on this one. Mad. When I double check, me I no forget. Nobody won't come and face. I need a check. Jesus, come on, Mary's in the bed. To the PJ or the jet. Nobody won't come and face.
Oh my God, it's DC.
That was one interesting performance. I was loving the swag. That's what we're talking about on a Monday morning. It's about time for us to start talking to our SME owner for this morning, Yejije. I keep twisting my tongue whenever it's time to pronounce your name. Erugbogo. Did I get it right now?
Yeah, you did.
Fantastic! I've been twisting it all morning. But she is the founder of Arras Bella Organics. It's a personal care line. She manufactures natural and organic hair and skincare products. Now, the company creates cost-effective and innovative products for the global beauty market. And she's also the founder of Arras Bella's Arras Bella's Wigs as well. So she's a multi-entrepreneur, multipreneur. Right? Am I right? All right, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so from how amazing you look, I can already see that your skincare products, you're a walking model for them already.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's go through your story. How did you start this? How did you start this business?
Okay, so in 2016, I was abroad for my master's.
Okay.
And then I kept reacting to the water and everything. So when I got back to Nigeria, my skin was terrible. I had back acne, chest acne on my face, so it was really terrible. And then I remember my mom was the one that started with, okay, all the products you're using, they're not working for you. Maybe you should go back to black soap, because when she was younger, black soap was a huge part of their childhood. So I went and I started, she mixed my first blend for me.
Okay.
And then I used it, and then it worked really fine. And that was when I decided, okay, I put it up on my Snapchat that's making black soap or something, and then people, like 6 people ordered then that they wanted the product. So I thought to myself that, okay, this is something that I have a personal experience with. If I'm going to do something and continue with it, it has to be something that I know what I'm doing and I'm adding value. And most of the people that come to meet me for solutions to their skincare problems, I've been there before. So I know what they're going through, and it was
beautiful. So I love your angle there. You know, first of all, someone you know and you care about actually did your first batch. That's your mom, right? So you were inspired from that moment that you realized it worked. You know, but coming from testing and trying out something to actually manufacturing it, there's a lot that happens within that process. For instance, was there any research you did?
Yeah, so I did a buttload of online courses first. So my first blend obviously is not what I'm using now. So there were a lot of, and usually at some point before we went, when I first started selling, there was no branding, no packaging, nothing. I was just selling in containers. So before I did the packaging and the stickers and the logo, I had to first create something and send it to close to 20 people for free.
Wow.
And these were people with different skin types. And I remember I kept on begging, literally, that please just send me your review. Whether good, whether bad, I need to know. Does it dry your skin out? Do you break out? Do you have this squeaky clean feeling when you use it? And I had to ask a lot of questions. And most people gave me feedback. And because it wasn't just about studying online, because most online courses focus on skincare, but not skincare for dark skin people.
True.
You mostly see a lot of skincare for Caucasian, white people generally. So it was very hard finding exactly what to learn online about it. But
okay. And now, for those who are probably thinking, you know, they would like to do some research on it, maybe you could just open up your Google app and type in how to launch a natural beauty business. Now, once you do that, you will see quite a lot of options, especially this first one, start your own natural and organic skincare business. How do you start a beauty line? How much does it cost? The information is all right there on your Google app. I'm really happy that you said that you had just finished school, basically. What was it you studied?
For my BSc, I studied mass communication at Redeemers University then.
Okay, so really, I would have thought maybe you would have wanted to have like some kind of business degree. Did you ever feel pressure to go and study business or be mentored by someone who's in the business before you?
Yes, that was actually something I was discussing last week with someone.
Oh, wow.
About finding a mentor in business in Nigeria, someone that I can be talking to. And it's actually a very good opportunity because I feel I've reached a point in business where I've exhausted what I know. And at this point, I need to look for someone that knows more and has experienced everything I'm going through right now.
So let's talk about those things you're going through now. So everyone makes it seem sometimes like business is rosy, you know, and we see all the beautiful products on social media and we think everything is A-okay. Let's list some of the challenges you've been going through from the beginning till now.
Okay, so from the beginning, my first problem was because the products are affordable and most organic products are really expensive.
Okay.
So my first problem was convincing people that you can actually use organic products that are cost-effective and work, because those are one of the key reasons why I started. I couldn't really find any I could afford easily. So it was more of, okay, why can't I just create something myself that people can buy and it's affordable and it also works for their skin. So that was my first problem, convincing people to believe that a product that is
affordable
can also be effective. That was one. Then another problem was logistics. Before I found a proper delivery company that handles all my logistics, it was a big issue.
Okay.
We always had issues with people that would pick up the packages, not deliver, customers would be complaining. So that was one big issue, logistics. Then also, I feel social media, it took a long time before I got a hang of social media, even though I've always been a social media person, because for my master's, I did digital global fashion media, so everything about media, I studied it, but still it was different. Channeling everything I had learned abroad into the Nigerian market was very different, but it was a really steep learning curve at the end of the day, because you Google a lot of things. You read how to do this, how to do that, how to post on social media to get more engagement, what to do for your skincare business to make people actually keep coming back apart from selling to them. So it was, to be honest, like I feel online study was actually a huge part of the business, because it's when you're going into a business and you go and meet people that are there, most oftentimes there's a risk of them stealing your idea, stealing when you're explaining everything to them. So first thing I learned in school was be careful who you share your ideas with.
True.
Go and learn first, do your research first. And when you hit a problem, like if you have any question, ask a question instead of explaining everything you know first before getting the answer to that one question. So that was basically it for me.
All right. So I really love the fact that you mentioned the research once again. And for those that missed it earlier, if you would like to find out more about how to start your own natural beauty line, all you have to do is open up your Google app and type in how to launch a natural beauty business. So you will be given a step-by-step guide according to some other experts who have also posted information about this. Natural organic skincare businesses, with formulas and things like that. But I also have to mention the issue of doing business in Nigeria and electricity. So I'm not sure if your business uses as much electricity as, say, another type of business would do.
No.
Not really? So you do everything manually?
So most of the things are manual, because if I have a machine that I use to mix the oil, but that's easier to make. But for the soap, it's still handmade.
Okay.
Because that was basically what I was pushing, handmade, natural, organic products.
Okay.
So every single product that gets to the customer, I was involved in the process, basically from scratch, up to the packaging point and everything. So electricity-wise, maybe for posting, taking orders, social media, that's what we need electricity for.
Okay.
But we have...
mostly a manual process.
Yes.
All right. So now, being a manual process and doing things online, so right now everything is just online, and you'll be able to see exactly what she's talking about if you do that search one more time on Google, how to launch a natural beauty business. Now, once you type that in, it's really simple. You get step-by-step advice on how to start a beauty line, how much it costs to start a beauty line, how do you start selling a beauty line, and can I actually really start a beauty business? Now, the selling of it, I have so many concerns about the selling of it, but we have to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking a bit more on exactly what you had to do to get your business off the ground.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning in, and we're still with our SME owner for this week. And I have to read the name out. Yejide Erugbogbo. She's the founder of Arras Bella Organics, and she's been talking to us about how she was able to start off her own organic natural beauty business. We're going to talk about sales. So sales of this kind of product can't be easy, because there's nothing very glamorous about it. It's not a glamorous thing. It's actually quite messy, right? So how did you go about selling your product?
So initially, I've always been a business-minded person in terms of my mom was a business owner, so obviously. And then when I started the business, it was more of education. That was the first thing I had to do to get customers. I had to explain to them exactly what the ingredients do and how it can help their skin. And it was more of messaging people, direct messages on Instagram, like, oh, hey, I have this skincare line, and I'm going to send you one, try it and let me know. how it is, and it was, yeah.
All right, so you never did one-on-one sales, like actual testing on people, like you never did product testing at all, you know, asking people to test it out in your presence and taking videos?
Oh, no.
Never did? Wow,
No.
okay.
Usually what I do is I have videos on Instagram on how to use the products. So I have people that we record videos of people actually using the products, how much you should use to get enough lather, because the lathers really well.
Yeah.
So how much you need, not a lot for people that are wasting them, and how you should store your soap. You shouldn't leave it open in the bathroom and let water keep pouring, and always keep it in a dry place.
Okay.
And so we have videos like that and more of skincare tips and tricks on if you're showering, try not to use too hot water. Lukewarm or room temperature works just fine.
Okay, so it shouldn't be too hot. That's some really great advice. Speaking of advice, we are doing everything we can to advise you on the best way to do some research on how to start your own natural beauty business. For instance, if you do a quick search on your Google app, just type in how to launch a natural beauty business on your Google app, and it should be able to give you a list of things you can do to make sure you're getting it off the ground the right way. So once you type it in, it's very, very simple. Just type it in, and once you press send, it'll give you some insight. I'm really interested in some of the YouTube videos that actually come up once you do the search. Speaking of YouTube videos, I'm wondering if you have ever made any YouTube videos on how to, use your product. Have you?
No.
You've never made any videos?
On YouTube, no.
Yeah,
haven't.
But for Instagram, yes.
Yeah, for Instagram, Facebook, yes, but not YouTube.
Okay, all right. So there are quite a few videos like that on YouTube. And you did say that you haven't done any actual product testing and all that. But I feel like you are a perfect model for your products. Are you telling us really now that it's only your products that you're using?
Yeah.
With this gleaming skin that I'm seeing right here? Only your products. So what do you use? What's your daily regimen for yourself?
So most times I always advise people that skincare doesn't start and end with your products. It starts with your mind, because if you're stressed out, you will break out. So it doesn't have to do with what you're using on your skin. It has to do with your mind first. Then that's one. Then two, you have to drink lots of water.
Okay.
Instead of sugar or taking oily drinks, or basically reduce cold drinks, fizzy drinks, just reduce that to the barest minimum.
Okay.
Increase your diet on greens, fruits, vegetables. They're really important.
So basically,
that's that.
You go on organic on your skin and you go organic inside.
Exactly. Then for my skin, it's I shower in my body wash every day and my lotion, and then at night, because the oil is strictly for night use, because it works best when you're asleep and your skin cells are working to regenerate and heal themselves. That's what the oil basically helps your skin do. So that's it.
So when it comes to beauty, they say a woman's hair is her crown, and I know that you have diversified in your business, right?
Yeah.
So in order to diversify and not just do skincare, you moved on to something else. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I started selling wigs.
Okay.
So I started a new, like a sister brand, basically, Arras wigs, where I sell affordable wigs, lace front, human hair, lace fronts, fiber wigs to customers.
Okay, so you decided to go with fiber.
Yes.
Not human hair alone.
Yes.
Okay. Was there a particular reason for that?
Well, the reason for fiber instead of going straight to human hair is because I had to do a bit of research for my customer base first. And I did ask a buttload of questions. What do people want? How much are they willing to spend on their hair?
Okay.
And I realized that majority of my customers want something that looks good, but it's still affordable.
So looking good, but still affordable. But weren't you worried about, people's reaction to you deciding to go on synthetic? Weren't you worried about that? Because you already started making a name with your products, right?
So it was more of the affordability first, then also the durability, because I checked for how long the hair can last, and it lasts as long as a year and a half with proper care.
Okay.
And before I even started selling them, I made sure I had a test first of some of the hair, before I now start selling to customers. So basically, I always give them how to use the hair, how to care for it, and you look just as
beautiful as if it was human hair.
Exactly.
All right. Now, if you are interested in learning a bit about how to diversify in your business, it's really simple. All you have to do is open up your Google app and type it in. Very simple. How to diversify in your business. Very, very simple. Just type it into your Google app and it should give you a list of what to do. So I'm typing it in right now myself, how to diversify in business. And as you can see, it is really, really simple. And once you type it in, all you have to do is wait for the list to come up. And there it is. Yes, indeed. So you can see everything there. It says, ensure that the new offerings create value for the customer. You know, the best ways to diversify a company will always focus on providing the most value for your customer, which is exactly what you did. You decided to not go the expensive route. You decided that the fiber products would be more affordable for the average person. And you know, it's always great when people are thinking about the customer first. I have to ask though, were there any criticisms on any of your products? I'm talking about the skincare or the hair care products that made you change anything in your products?
Generally, I always listen to customers. If one customer tells me, oh, I used your product and my skin was a bit too dry, and I always tell them to explain exactly what happened so that I can always go back. So I remember at the beginning when I was still 7 months in, someone complained about her skin getting too dry. Another person complained her skin was getting too dry. So I was like, okay, I know exactly what I should increase to make sure your skin doesn't get dry, and that's the honey.
Okay.
That way,
so honey helped?
Honey helps.
Okay.
Like, it helps a whole lot. For your skin. It's a natural, like, detoxifier. If you use it on your skin, it works well, and it has almost 0 to none in terms of side effects.
Beautiful. I was going to ask about side effects, but there isn't really much time now. Please follow us to the kitchen. Our chef has been, she made something quick and easy for us to taste this morning. Please come along. You know, it's really interesting that we should talk about side effects. Now, the side effect of being hungry is... side effect of being hungry is... Yes, I am, actually. So when I was sitting down, my button popped.
Oh,
so
I thought you were even trying to hide
yes,
the fact that
it's a
your
wardrobe
tummy is
malfunction. I'm hiding people. But I'm doing it in a sexy way. Let's go. Take a seat.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us in the kitchen. You're welcome. Today's chef is Chef Tina, and she made the super easy and quick recipe. Tell us about what you prepared, Chef Tina.
Okay, this morning I made noodles in soup.
Wow. Noodles in soup. It looks so amazing, right?
I actually did.
Beautiful. So
just have a feel.
Have a taste. It looks so good, right?
Yeah, it does.
As in, I've never made noodles this way. And
then, of course, you know, Mike's birthday was last Saturday.
Oh, yes, we forgot about
this
that.
This is actually for
I'm
Mike.
so sorry.
I'm actually fasting.
Mike is always fasting until he digs into it.
Happy birthday, Mike. I can't believe I forgot
to you,
that.
Mike. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Please, if you haven't sent Mike a shout out, please send him a shout out.
These kind of things cannot, you know, see, we're focused. Focus is key. You heard the motivation this morning. So these people now, they're coming. They're not agents of righteousness.
Nice.
Distracting me.
Really nice? You like the spice?
Yeah, it's really spicy.
Thank you. Thank you.
It actually smells amazing as well.
Focus.
So, Mike, are you
get the behind me.
Get it? Mike, let's wrap up the show. Come on, let's wrap up. Now we have to say a big thank you to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories. And as usual, we'll be here bright and early tomorrow. Can't wait, can't wait, can't wait.
Yes,
Focus. The power of focus.
Really, Mike?
That's all you need. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Focus.
Have an amazing week.
Focus on being here at 6 a.m., y'all. Have a great day.
Focus.
Bye.